And Angie, you can begin.
Thank you, Carrie, for getting us started. And I'm very excited to have all of you joining us for the presentation today. Owens will be hosting a virtual job fair this fall, so we put this presentation together to share some information to help students to get prepared for that. So let's go ahead and move along. So Owens has an online job platform called College Central Network, and we've had it for about 10 years, and employers can post their open positions in there. But this year, they've offered a new feature which is allowing us to host a virtual job fair, which we have not done. In the past, we've held an in-person job fair in Heritage Hall, where we have employers at tables and students and alumni come and talk to the employers. So be very different, but I think that there's going to be some benefits to that. So it is open to all Owens students as well as all of our alumni. You do have to be registered in College Central, and I'll talk more about that in a little bit. We will have employers from various fields. As of right now, we have about 25 employers, but we still have about a month to go until the fair ends, and so I'm expecting us to have a number of more employers added to that. As job seekers, you'll be able to search for employers and their open positions in the job fair starting on October 12th, which was Monday. So right now, even though the fair isn't happening until November, you can go into College Central and you can see who's signed up to attend, and you can start researching those employers. So that's a benefit. And then what will happen from November 11th to the 17th, you as job seekers can go into College Central, submit your resume or create a portfolio and submit that to any of the employers that you might be interested in. Okay, so I'm going to do a poll here, and I'm going to go ahead and start the poll. And what type of job are you looking for right now? So if you're looking for full-time, you can click that one, or part-time internship, or if you're just not sure. So go ahead and click on our poll. Okay, so we have looks like we have a mix right now. Let's see here. We have 2 people who said they were looking for full-time and 2 for part-time. So yeah, so that's the nice thing about the job fair is we are going to have a variety of positions. Employers are going to be looking for all sorts of individuals, part-time, full-time, sometimes seasonal or temporary, as well as internships, which some could lead to a full-time position. As well as things that are just entry level, where maybe you don't need a lot of experience or education, and then other positions where they're looking for individuals in certain programs who have a specific degree or credential. So a good variety there. So thank you for participating in our poll. Okay, so preparation. These are the things that you need to do to be ready for the job fair. So the first thing is to register on College Central Network. If you are a current student this semester, you should have received an email on September 18th saying that you were pre-registered for College Central Network. We do that every semester. We pre-register all of our students to make it easier for them to complete the registration process. You need to go, it should have gone to your Owens email. You can click on that link and you can complete your registration. Once you've done that, then you can upload your resume, and that is required in order to connect with employers. Now, the first time that you submit your resume, it will need to be approved by one of our career advisors, and they're going to review that and just give you some feedback on how to make your resume better, which we all have room for improvement. Even those of us that work in career services can always make tweaks to improve our resume. So don't be discouraged by that. It's just part of the process. And then once you make the corrections and resubmit, we will typically approve your resume at that point. And there are instructions on our website. And I also have a link there in the PowerPoint where you can see how to upload your resume. It's pretty self-explanatory. And all of our communications to you regarding your resume will be coming through your Owens email. So after you've registered on College Central and you've uploaded your resume, then you want to think about what are the types of jobs that you're looking for. So are you looking for a specific employer? So for example, we have ProMedica that has registered to participate in our virtual fair. So maybe that's where you want to work. So you could focus in on that specific employer. Or maybe you're interested in healthcare. I know we have a number of employers who are registered to attend who are in the healthcare field. We also have several in law enforcement. So depending on what field you want to go into or what employers, you can start researching those now. And each employer is going to have a landing page where you can go and see the information that they've chosen to share. They may have videos, they may have details about their open positions, they may have a link to their website. So every employer can set it up how they wish, but you will be able to find information there. And then starting on November 11th, you'll be able to submit your resume to any of those employers that you're interested in. So if you are interested in healthcare, maybe you're going to submit your resume to 3 of the employers from those fields. And then what you do is you will watch for a communication or notification from the employer that they would like to meet with you or do an interview. This is going to be done virtually, so it's all going to be done through College Central Network. You will be monitoring those invitations and then responding to actually select a time. And the time can be throughout that week of November 11th through the 17th, as well as 6 days beyond the 17th, which is technically the end of the fair. So we have a larger window here with the online fair, which I think is beneficial. In the past, our job fair was 2 hours, and you can't get a lot done in that time, and you certainly can't interview candidates. So I think this will be a more productive use of everyone's time. So then you're going to want to prepare for the interview or meeting with the employers. And I'm going to talk a little bit later about how you can do that and what resources we have to help. And then other things that we recommend is participating in some of our job fair events. And you are doing that today. And we do have at least one more workshop coming up that I will tell you about later. So those are kind of the steps in your process. So this is a little bit more spaced out versus everything just happening on one day. Okay, so resume, how can you prepare for this? Go ahead and raise your hand if you have a resume. Oh, awesome. Okay, it looks like most of our participants do have a resume, so that's great. If you already have a resume, then maybe you want to take a look at our resume rubric to see and evaluate your resume on ways that you might be able to improve that, or looking at some of our lists of action verbs and maybe trying to vary the different verbs that you use on your resume in your bullet points. So we do have some things on our site to help with resume. We also have a series of events called the Internship and Career Corner, where students can do 1, 2, or 3 different things. One of them is a resume review with one of the career advisors. You can also do a mock interview with an area employer, or you can talk with one of our internship managers about doing an internship in the future. If you are interested in the Internship and Career Corner, you can go to our website, which I'm going to ask Carrie to go ahead and put our homepage in the chat box. And then when you're on our homepage, you can click on the Career Corner appointment request and fill out an RSVP, and there are various dates and times throughout the semester. So along those same lines, there are things you can do to prepare for an interview. Go ahead and raise your hand if you've never had a job interview. Yeah, I know a lot of jobs, especially when you're starting out, maybe as when you're in high school or just in first few jobs, oftentimes you just fill out an application and you might get hired. You might not have to do an interview. So it's going to be important, thank you, Hussein, to go ahead and prepare for that interview. So here are some things we have on our website to help with that. We have some common interview questions. So you're like, I'm not sure what the employer is going to ask. What should I be prepared for? You do not want to go into an interview cold. You do not want to wing it. You want to be prepared. So by looking at those questions, you can reflect on what your answers would be. Now, you don't want to write the answers down and memorize them and read the answers during the interview. but you want to have taken some time to think about the questions and formulate some basic points that you would use to respond to those. And Carrie just shared the link. Thank you, Carrie, in the chat for the common interview questions that we put together. We also have a virtual workshop that we did this summer, which was on virtual interviewing. And so this is something that you can go ahead and watch at your leisure, and it's got tips for a virtual interview. So even though you're doing interviews virtually, you still need to do certain things like dress professionally, have your resume with you, have questions prepared, but other things to think about, including having the technology tested ahead of time. So if you're using Zoom, make sure you have your account and working, thinking about what's behind you in the camera view. So different little tips and tricks related to a virtual interview that I think would benefit you to take a look at that video before you interview with any employers during the job fair. I already mentioned the Internship and Career Corner, where you can do a mock interview, but also we have another event called PI, Professional Interview Experience, and that is going to be on November 12th. If you sign up for that event, you can do 2 mock interviews with 2 different employers, and there will also be a networking presentation by one of our Owens alumni. So that's going to be something that you can go to our website and RSVP for, and that would help you, again, to prepare for any mock interviews that you may have coming up. And Carrie shared the link for the PI registration. Thank you, Carrie. Okay. All right, so I mentioned online workshops. We held one already, which was September 29th on a resume, about resumes. And if you go to our website, there is a recording of that session. So you didn't miss out. You can still go and watch that presentation that was given by Renee, one of our career advisors, and that will give you some tips and an overview of what should be in your resume, how to organize the information, and what are best practices when it comes to a resume. Your resume is one of the important tools that you have in the job search. That is the first thing that the employer is going to see, and that's how they're going to learn about you initially. And then the interview is your next opportunity to really share who you are and why you would be a good fit for the position and the company. So having a strong resume is really important, because if your resume isn't drawing the attention of the employers, then you may not even get a chance to do that interview. So it's important to have that. And then we have a workshop coming up on November 4th, which is about networking. And networking is another important part of the job search process. Individuals often find out about jobs in ways that are not just on a website like Indeed. It might be through word of mouth. It might be through a referral. So networking is really important, and Kara, one of our career advisors, is going to present about networking and what are strategies that you can do to leverage your personal and professional network in order to learn about open positions that are out there. Okay, so this is our job fair flyer, and you can see it says November 17th, but that's that last day that you can submit your resume, but you have that whole week from the 11th to the 17th to submit your resume to employers that you're interested in. And then in terms of appointments, the employer will have their availability listed there for when they can meet with you, and then you can choose something that fits your schedule. So I think that this virtual format is providing much more flexibility for students and employers to connect. So if you want to get started on the job fair, you can go to owens.edu/virtual job fair, and you can see it here on the slide. And from there, you'll be able to either log in with your College Central network credentials, or if you are not already registered for College Central, then you can go ahead and register for College Central, but you're going to want to use that link that you received for pre-registration. If you are not a current student this semester, then you would just go ahead and register and request approval. But if you are enrolled in classes for this term, then you should have that email. If you are having any trouble with registering, uploading your resume, or anything like that, please do let me know, or any of the career advisors. If you go to our website, you will see our photos and our contact information, and we would be happy to help you with this. But in many cases, the employers are going to be viewing the meetings they have with job seekers as interviews. I had one employer today tell me that they plan on using those virtual meetings to interview candidates. So it's very possible that between now and November 17th, you could actually get hired by an employer. And these, people might think because of COVID and the way the economy is right now that employers are not hiring, and that's not the case. There are a number of employers who are hiring positions, both entry level and higher level positions. So please don't be discouraged thinking that this is a bad time to look for a job. There actually are new jobs getting posted on College Central every single day. So I think the job fair is going to be a great way, a streamlined way in order for you to find out about the open positions. And when you're in College Central, you're not limited to only looking for those positions that are posted with employers that are part of the fair. There are many, many other open positions in College Central that you can search for outside of the job fair. So once you're into College Central, you can take advantage of searching up all of those open positions, and other colleges in the area, also College Central. You're not limited just to those in the Toledo area. There are employers from all over the state, so you do have a lot of opportunities there. Okay, so here is our contact information. We have our phone number. If you want to make an appointment with us, currently we are offering appointments in 3 different ways. You can do a face-to-face appointment with masks and social distancing. You can also do a phone appointment, and then you can do a virtual appointment that we would do via Blackboard Collaborate. So if you call the number there, the 661-2387, you can request an appointment with us, and you can choose the appointment format that you want to use. You can also email us at careerservices@owens.edu, and then we've already put the website in the chat box, but owens.edu/career is our website. So by a show of hands, how many of our attendees are planning on participating in the fair form or fashion? Yay, I see some hands raised. I'm excited about this. I think it's going to be a really good experience. And, even if you don't get a position, it's still valuable to have that experience of working with and connecting with an employer. You can use it as a learning experience. But employers are really looking for individuals to hire. It's a great time to be a job seeker, and it's been like this for a while. And companies have reopened, and they're building back up their staff, and there's definitely a need to fill those positions. So I'd encourage you between now and November 11th to take the time to get registered in College Central if you're not already in there, to work on your resume and get that uploaded to College Central. And when it's reviewed, you'll get an email with the recommended changes. Make those changes in a timely way and resubmit. And then once you resubmit, your resume will likely be approved. And then from there, you could submit it to employers once we get to November 11th. But the other thing you can do right now is you can research those employers and learn more about them. We've got larger employers, some smaller, some names. For example, we have Carter Lumber, which I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with, but there are other employers that I know I wasn't familiar with. So you can learn about them, and keep in mind that if an employer is in a certain field, so for example, ProMedica is in the healthcare field. However, they don't just hire people in healthcare. They hire people from all different careers and occupations: accountants, business people, HR, marketing, graphic design. So don't limit yourself to looking at employers that you think are a direct match with your major or career, because it is possible that they're also looking to hire individuals in other fields. So do we have any questions? You can go ahead and put your questions in the chat. It could be about something that I didn't talk about that you would like me to address. Okay, well, it looks like we don't have any questions at this time, so I want to thank you for participating in the workshop today. Please visit our website, go to the job fair website, owens.edu/virtual job fair, and please contact us at Career Services if we can help you in any way. Thank you and have a great day. Thanks for coming. Ooh, Olivia has a great question. Will there be a job fair in the spring? Yes, we typically do a job fair every fall and a job fair every spring. I am anticipating, just based on the way things are right now, that we would likely offer that job fair in the spring as a virtual fair again as well, just because it's unclear what the situation will be with the pandemic. But yes, we have not chosen the date yet for that job fair. We typically do that in late March or early April. Thank you for your question. Okay, well, if you don't have any other further questions, we thank you for participating and let us know if we can help you.